Hello everyone. Today I'll be discussing the problem called rotate image from the Code April Challenge Day 25. So the problem statement is as follows. We are given a matrix and we are asked to rotate the matrix clockwise at 90 degrees and print out the resultant matrix. So the problem is quite simple. If you have used a second matrix to store the resultant matrix, but we are explicitly asked to do that so that the we are explicitly asked to convert the matrix without using a second matrix. So we'll do this in the procedure provided. You'll get the solution accepted even if you used a second matrix. So you can try that if needed. But as they have asked to do that in place, we'll do that. And it is not so tough even doing in place. One approach could be just printing out the elements from here to here. See now, if you take a look, this suppose this was the matrix given 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 8 9. After rotating 90 degrees, the resultant matrix will be 7 8 9 4 5 6 and 1 2 3. That is C. So 7 4 1. The first row is this one. The second row 8 5 2 is this one. The third row 9 6 3 and this one. So we can just print out the elements, but as they have asked to do so using uh, without using a 2D matrix, we'll do that. So the first that has to come to your mind is that now I am not using a 2D matrix, but I need to change the elements internally. So some way or the other, I need to use swap function. That is, I need to swap the elements. Now that this is the first step. If you got till here, it's your answer is half completed, and you are very near to completing your answer. So now I know that I need to somehow use the swap function, but I don't know exactly how to use the swap function right now. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to see if I can establish a relation between the elements after a matrix is rotated 90 degrees. So here I'm doing exactly that. First I'll take this is the positions of a elements of a normal matrix. If these elements are rotated by 90 degrees, the positions will be as follows. So we need to arrive at this matrix from this matrix, and we need to use swap function in some way or the other. This is our solution for now. So how will we arrive at this? So if you take a look carefully, you can see that the 3 1 is present here in this matrix, but it's present here in this matrix. Here again, the 1 1 is present here in this matrix, and 1 1 is present in this matrix. So first I try to break down how we arrive at the resultant matrix using two steps. You can arrive this easily if you observe it for 5 minutes or so. So first what I'll try to do is that I'll swap the first elements of the first row with the elements of the last row, and again the elements of the second row with the elements of the last second row, and so on. If we do in such a way, the resultant matrix will be 3 1 3 2 3 3, 2 1 2 2 2 3, and 1 1 1 2 1 3. So after I swap the first and the last row, the second and the last second row, and so on, the resultant matrix will be this. Now I need to find so why did I arrive in this? So why did I arrive like this, or why did I have exactly arrived at this step? Is the reason is that the 3 1 is present here and the 3 1 is present here, but the 1 1 is present here and the 1 1 is present here. So first, my intuition is that we can't just exactly swap one time and come to the resultant matrix. So there may be internally more swaps. So first, what I was trying to do is I'm trying to prove my observation. So 3 1, I swapped the element with the first row element. So I did this so that maybe I'm trying to find maybe there could be a relation between these two. So I derived this matrix from this above matrix because I was a little bit sure that there can be some internal swaps, or there may be, we can't arrive to this matrix from the first matrix without a minimum of two swaps, like two steps. So first what I was trying to do is, first I swapped the first row and the last row. So here I swap the first row and last. So now I'm trying to establish the relation between this third matrix and this second matrix. So if we take a look carefully, that matrix is just the reflection with respect to diagonal of the second matrix. So imagine this diagonal elements as a mirror. Then uh, how do we arrive at the third matrix? We can see that if we just swap 2 1 with 3 2, then we can see that they are same as the resultant matrix. Similarly, if we swap 3 3 with 1 1 and 1 2 with 2 3, we arrive at the resultant matrix. So we just need to swap with respect to the diagonal and we'll get the resultant matrix. So that's it, we got our solution. First we are trying to swap the first in the last row, the second in the second last row, and so on. And after that I'm just taking the reflection, or maybe I'm swapping the elements with respect to the diagonal. The diagonal elements are static, they won't move as there is no corresponding another element. So as you can see, I tried to do this. So in this first loop, I just did the first step, that is, I swapped the elements of the uh, first row with the elements of the last row, and so on. And in the second loop, I just took the swap with respect to the diagonal. As you can see here, I used a condition I less than or equals to 0. The meaning is that I am just trying to swap this element. So I just iterate until I arrive at the diagonal element, and just I swap this with the corresponding, or if I in the last one, if I iterate from the start and arrive at the end, I just swap this element with the corresponding and this element with the corresponding. So this is the, I'll paste the code in the description below so you can check out the code, and comment below if you have any doubts regarding the code. I'll just submit it and show you. So as you can see, it got accepted and it's the correct answer. So thank you. If you have any doubts about the code or about the logic, you can comment below. I will definitely help you out. Thank you. So don't forget to check out the code in the description, and also if you like the video, please to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.